Ladies and gentlemen, we have showers out and about in our area this morning. And look at that. Lurking in between the showers, I see Pat Pagano. Good morning, Pat.
Now, do we call them showers or do we call them sprinkles?
No, it's showers because they're not just sprinkling. They might be light, but it's like they're constant for like 5 to 6, 7 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I,
And
I did not put them in the forecast. Saw it this morning. Um, just felt that a lot of it would dry up, and I still think that's going to be the case. So I think these will be gone, but for the most part, by the time most people feel their day starts, which is 9 o'clock in the morning, for me and you, Marshall, our day's almost over, but
that's right.
that's because of the work we do. And I just think it'll be a partly sunny and less humid day in the low 80s and a clear night tonight, mid 50s. Sunny Friday, low 80s. Sunny and dry Saturday, middle 80s. Partly sunny, moderately humid Sunday, middle 80s. If there's going to be any showers over the weekend, I don't believe they will arrive until Sunday night. So I'm not putting them in the forecast. And this last weekend of August will be a dry one, which is nice. I think, not because I'm counting, but I think so far we've had 13 weekends with at least some rain.
Oh yeah, we're not. There's plenty of water lying all around here.
Yeah, we don't need any more water. You're right. Talking about water, Hawaii will
Wow.
definitely get all the water they need.
Is it going to be a dangerous storm for them?
It's going to be dangerous. As I pointed out yesterday, when tropical storms and hurricanes affect the United States, when they hit land, they weaken. That's not going to be the case here because, these are little islands in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of an ocean. So this hurricane is so forceful that, yeah, maybe the wind field will come down a little bit, but not the rain or the storm surges. Absolutely not. And problem number two, recovery. It's not like they could just people neighboring states could just bring up help because that's not going to be the case, and they're going to have to get ships and planes in there for recovery. So. We will be watching it. It has already taken a turn. It's moving northwest. It is a Cat 4 with 145 mile per hour winds and has already set a record for the closest Cat 5 hurricane ever to Hawaii.
Hawaii dodges hurricanes most of the time, don't they?
That is absolutely
Yeah.
correct. Yes, yes, and that's why they don't have to worry about it. There's plenty of tourists there now. It's vacation time and of course residents. So there's a lot to be concerned about, especially the easternmost islands, because the hurricane's going to be closer to those islands than it will be to like Honolulu, although it's going to be coming pretty close to Honolulu. I don't know if I'm going to try. Let's see if I could get an observation um, right now from Honolulu. Right now, it is cloudy, 79 degrees. Remember, it's midnight there. Okay, they're about 7 hours
Yeah.
uh, behind us, and the wind is west at 11. A hurricane warning is in effect for Honolulu, and the mountain areas. Deadly runoff could rage down valleys while increasing rock slides and mudslides. Driving conditions will become very, very hazardous. Avoid walking or driving in floodwaters. They go through that whole bit. Um, it's really unbelievable what may go on there. And I'm thinking, let's see, they said an announcement that hurricane conditions are expected somewhere within the area. Hurricane activity, preparedness activities should become difficult once the winds reach tropical storm force or hurricane. So there's a lot going on there, and I think that's going to be the big news story. What do you think?
I think that's going to be the big news story. But it was funny. I was listening to somebody on NPR's Morning Edition this morning talking to this resident in Hawaii. They said, so have you stocked up on a lot of gas for your car? And the woman goes, I've got a car that gets 40 miles a gallon, and the island's small. She goes, I don't normally get gas but once a month. She goes, so
Yeah,
I,
really.
so no, I didn't get extra gas for my car, but I did get 2 weeks worth of food and 2 weeks worth of water.
That makes sense. That
Well,
really does make sense because,
that is funny. Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to worry about being cold,
No.
there. So, like we did with Sandy. So they don't have to worry about that. But again, flash flooding and mudslides and things like that could really, really cause a lot of fatalities and a lot of danger and a lot of damage. So we could only pray that things change. But right now, the computer models have been doing a good job in handling that. There's also a disturbance on the the African coast now, and the National Hurricane Center is watching that and thinks it will move, of course, westward off the African coast and across the South Atlantic. Now, whether or not it survives to become a depression or a tropical storm is anybody's guess because, again, the waters out there are cooler than they should be. But they are watching that. That's the only thing in the Atlantic that they are watching. And of course, I'm just watching this lovely, delightful air mass come in. I am just going to be loving this for the next couple of days. No humidity, a little bit cooler. Just love it, love it, love it. I was watching the news last night, shaking my head. Of course, the president's a lawyer, pleading to 8 counts guilty. And of course, he denies that there's anything going on there. Then, his campaign manager, he was indicted for fraud. I'm shaking my head.
His assistant campaign manager was indicted and convicted. We can go on and on and on.
Yeah, I mean that, and I'm shaking my head about that. And then I'm the sad news about that poor girl that was jogging in Iowa and was kidnapped and killed. And they found the guy that's doing that. So they're going to be trialing him. What about the man who killed his wife and 2 daughters? And I think that was in Colorado.
And he wasn't even an immigrant.
That's correct. And then, of course, I heard David Chapman is up for parole. He's up for parole.
Yeah.
I have a doctor, or I had a doctor, who's being accused of writing, prescriptions that they put into jail without any parole because they think that he is a risk to society. But yet, here's a man who stood right in front of another man known as John Lennon and kills him, and he's up for parole?
He won't get out.
Well, let's hope. I just don't understand where this whole thing is going.
We live in a crazy world, Pat.
Yeah, and I was kind of sorry that I watched the news last night.
Well, yesterday on my Facebook page, 2 people called me un-American. Another person called me an unspeakable name. This is on my own page, okay? Things I posted on my own page. And 2 other people also. So I finally had enough. By the time it was late in the evening, I finally had enough. And this is what I wrote on my Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, first of all, you'll see this. If you don't like what you see on this page, then don't come here, period. Right. Unfriend me. But this is what I wrote, and this is what I'm going to do from now on. Yesterday on Facebook, I was called un-American and bleep bleep and bleep bleep and bleep bleep. And to end the day, a very emotional, personal, heartbreaking post went on my page. I can't say what I wrote then. I'm done. I'll take my views and my fights I believe in on the street level and go face to face. My personal page will not be updated again except with pictures of families and friends. If you want to contact me, you know where to find me on Messenger, and if I want to contact you, I know where to find you. My political crusading will take place face to face. Then let's see if you have the nerve, rudeness, or intestinal fortitude to talk to my face like you do online. People online just feel that they can do anything.
Right.
They're emboldened. If they ever did this stuff face to face, 9 times out of 10, they'd be knocked out within a day.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Just
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it is unbelievable. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. You realize that,
Well, especially when it's on your own page. If you don't like it, don't come here.
right?
You block me. Do what you want.
Yeah, I've learned through the years that you stay away from topics like politics, religion. These things can get very, very touchy. So I don't argue with it anymore, and I just chalk it up. I have friends who uh, talk about religion, and of course, I am Catholic and I do go to church. I would not call myself, um, a religious person. However, there are certain things that I don't like that people say, and there are things that people say about the church that are absolutely correct. But nevertheless, that's their opinion, and they're entitled to it. And I don't have to like it or dislike it, and that's the way I look at it. But
Yeah.
I stay away from the whole thing, and you kind of wonder, at this point right now, who is who is going to even attempt to run for the next president of the United States.
I don't know. He hasn't been released from. They haven't been released from prison yet.
I think we should nominate Marshall Miles.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Hell, I couldn't get elected to the Board of Education. Never mind. Never mind, President. All right, Pat. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
All right, you got it.
Goodbye. Pat Pagano this morning in the Weather Center with a check on our tri-state forecast.